Here's my under 20-minute filtered makeup look. So let's get started. I'm in such a great mood. I'm ready to get started. I had to do a little dance first. I'm going to start off with the vitamin C serum that I use as a primer. Of course, my face is already washed and moisturized. This is just an extra layer of moisturizer and use it as a primer before I put on my makeup. I want to make sure I have a good moisturized base, because when I put makeup on, I don't really know how long I'm going to have it on, or even what the weather is going to be like, or, when I go outside. So I want to make sure I have a really, really good base, a really good foundation. So I'll blend that in very well, and I'll make sure I get even my under eye and under my chin and my neck area, just to make sure I'm good and moisturized. And once I'm done with that, I'll go to the next step. I'll go ahead and put on my foundation. The foundation I'm using is the True Match, the L'Oreal True Match. I have been using this for quite some time. I think it goes on really smoothly. It did not take me long to find my shade in this foundation, and I believe it gives such a natural color, and I think it's just a great base to start with. The color I use is W6.5. So I'll go ahead and smooth that out all over, and then I make sure I get my neck, under my chin, and just make sure I try to get all the creases and crevices around my eyes, around my nose. Sometimes I know it can be a little difficult to get those smaller areas, just to make sure that you have full coverage. But this is a full coverage foundation. I only put one layer on. If you like a fuller look or just more foundation, you can always go in with more pumps to add an extra layer for even more full coverage for this foundation. So after I'm done making sure that the foundation is good, I'll go ahead and go in with my concealer in a lighter shade. I'm just going to cover some of the areas that I want to be light highlighted. So of course my chin and forehead and under my eyes. And then I have a darker concealer stick. I'm going to go in and go over some of the areas that I want to contour around my forehead, my cheek area, and my chin, my jawbone. And then I'll go in and I'll blend with an angled brush. I know a lot of people use a sponge, which is, I've used a sponge also, but lately I've been using an angled brush. I believe the brush smooths out the product and blends it in very well. And for some reason, it feels like I got something in my eye. So let me do an eye check. Be cautious when you're using any makeup product or applicator. Make sure you don't get anything in your eye. Clumsy old me. But I'll go ahead and keep on smoothing it out, blending it in on both sides. Get my nose. Sometimes I contour my nose. This particular day I did not. It just depends on what look I want and maybe even where I'm going. Depends on the look that I want as well. So here I'm just going to blend out that highlighter shade on my forehead and make sure it all is even from my forehead down to my chin. Once I'm done blending in the highlighted areas, I'll go ahead and start with the contour areas. So I'm also going to use a palette to help me blend in some of those contour areas. I'm going to use these two shades, and I'm going to go over the area where I put the cream contour stick, and I'm going to blend it in with the those two powder shades. Quite often I like to use a cream stick for a base, but then I'll still blend it in with a similar shade or darker shade to contour. I just think that it blends seamlessly and it adds just that extra pop. As you can see, it's kind of bronzing it and contouring it at the same time to give that more filtered contour look. And I'll just go in adding a little bit on each side in each contour area, and I'll just blend it really well just to make sure it gives that good filter contour look. Now, once the contour is blended, I'm going to go in with a powder, luminous powder. This is a Jaclyn brand. And I'm going to use a brush. I'm not going to use a powder puff or a pad. I'm going to just go in with a little light, fine bristled brush. And I'm just going to lightly add a little bit at a time and just go in the highlighted area where I want to make sure I keep it highlighted, and just to add that extra luminous look under my eyes. And of course, I'm going to add a little bit on my nose, the same places that I highlighted with my lighter shade concealer. That's where I'm going to add this powder. And then, of course, my jawline on each side, I'm going to add a little bit. And then I'm also going to add some to my forehead and to my chin area also. Of course, because that's where it's going to be the most shine with light and pictures and things. And then it kind of helps keep, because I'm really oily. I don't know about you, but I want to keep the oil levels down in that T-zone area. So that's where I want to put plenty of powder. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in, and while I let that sit, I'm going to start on my brows. Now, I don't know about you all, but I have been doing my brows after I put on my foundation. I used to do my brows first, which I don't think it's a problem either way, whether you do them before you do your makeup or after you do your makeup. How do y'all like to do y'all? Do you do your brows first, or do you wait till you're almost at the end of your makeup look? I've been waiting till I'm almost at the end, because then whenever I can put the concealer around them to kind of carve them out, I can just blend it in seamlessly with whatever product is already on my face. But either way, I think it works good. Even when I did do my brows first, of course, you still can carve them out and then put on the foundation. But this is just the way that's been working best for me. I actually had my brows laminated not too long ago. Almost time to get them laminated again. That was my first time getting a lamination. I think they have held up pretty well since then. I don't have to put a lot of product on them. I don't have to put any brow gel on them, which I've used quite often. I've used the soap kits, the brow gel, the brow mascara. I guess it's just whatever you want to use. They all work pretty good. Just depends on the look you want. But I was going for a more natural look, so I decided to get a lamination, and then of course I just fill them in, add additional makeup product whenever I do my face. So I blend in a little bit of pomade just to kind of fill in my brows and to give them the shape that I want. And then I'll go in with the same concealer that I use to highlight my face in the T-zones. I'll just add a little bit under my brow to kind of carve it out some and blend that in really well. And then I'll add a little bit to the top as well to carve it out, just to keep the shape that I want. I don't like them too thick, but I want a somewhat of a full brow look. And I think this just gives me the look that I want. So I'll go ahead and I blend that concealer around to carve my brows out. And then I'll move on to the next step. Once I'm done with my brows, I'm going to go ahead and start with adding a blush. So I'm going to use a BC Cosmetic palette. I believe I got this from a department store. I just really like the shades in it. And I want to go in with these two lighter pink shades. I'm going to blend them and just go right here above my contour area just to blend it in. And as you can see, I'm blending that in right over the powder because it kind of helps brush some of the powder off after it's been sitting for a while. So this kind of helps me get that off. And then I'll start putting my blush on. But I'll also go in with another brush and brush some of that excess powder off and kind of blend those areas in the T-zone as I'm starting to blend in the blush, and kind of blending in some of those highlighted areas as well. And then once I've gotten off that excess powder, I'm going to go in with my bronzer brush and blend that in some more just to make sure that I didn't take any of that off. And then I also go around the perimeter of my face with that as well, and then the middle of my face just to get a little of that excess powder off. And then I'll go in with my blush again. I like a lot of blush. I'm a blush girly. I want to make sure that you see it. I want it to be extremely pigmented, and I want the color to show. I want it to pop. I want it to come through. So and I think these two shades together are a really good filtered blush look. And then I'm just going to go in and blend in some of those bronze areas, a little bit more bronzer on those areas once I'm done adding the blush. And I'm going to go in with a Too Faced palette. This is a bronze shade also. It's Sun Bunny. I don't remember the exact shade, but it's a bronzer, kind of like a darker bronzer shade. I'm going to go in some of those contoured areas, in between the contoured areas and the blush, where the blush meets. And I'm going to blend that in really well, just so there's a good blended look between the T-zone, the highlighted area, blend it well into the blush, and then blend it well into the bronzer area on my cheeks as well. And I am not a lash person. I have tried wearing lashes in the past. I don't know if it was the application or the glue or maybe just the look of them. And I just haven't found a lash look that I've liked. since then. I've seen lashes on others. I think they look really good. But for me personally, I just have not found a lash look or lash combination look that looks good on me with my makeup. So I do not wear lashes, but I do wear mascara. I use the Maybelline Sky High, the Lash Sensational mascara. This is one that I have been using consistently for the past few years. It is one of the best mascaras that I have ever used. I use the brown black shade. It's not the deep black, but it's like the one that kind of has a little brown tint to it. So that's the one that I use. I think it is an extremely good mascara. It lasts a long time and it has the fibers in it. So I just put one layer on for this look, but I mean you can layer it up as much as you want when you put it on. And then I do like black mascara. I do not like it on really thick. But I do like just to line the bottom of my eyes just a little bit with the black mascara, just to kind of seal off that darker eye look. So I'll add a little bit of eyeliner, black eyeliner, and then I'll go ahead and put a little setting spray on. I'm using the Pearl Essence. It's like coconut and rose setting spray, and it smells really, really, really good. I've been using this one for a while. I have a lot of it left though, even though I've been using it for a while. And so my lips, I like a natural lip look. I was going to try doing a really deep color, but I like a natural lip because I want to keep my lip moisturized at the same time. So this darker brown shade I'm using is a Sephora lip liner. It's like a cream liner. And then I'm going to go in with a rose lip oil. It's a hydrating lip oil. Because like I said, I don't like products that dry my lips out. And these work really good together, this combination. So I'm just going to add that and blend it in and clean up the edges a little bit. And that is my simple lip that I like to use. And this is one that I use quite often. I think it goes with just about any makeup look. Just a simple skin tone liner and then a natural oil, which gives a gloss look as well. And that is my simple filtered makeup look. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you like and subscribe and comment some makeup techniques that you like and maybe even some products that you really like. And thank you for watching.